Hello, my name is Adele Drajewski, and I'm hoping to provide you with some good tips for using the library to do some research for your nursing courses. So the reason that I'm creating this video is because I'm one of the people who are here to help you at the library if you have any citation or research questions. And today, what I want to talk about just briefly in 21 slides, you can see in the top of this, and we're on 2 of 21. We're already getting through it. We have topics such as library search, Google Scholar, annotated bibliography resources, literature review resources, APA citation, and most importantly, where to go to get help. So let's start with library search. This is our library homepage. If you Google Seneca Libraries, this is what's going to come up. So when you get your assignment, what you want to do is start typing in the keywords of your topic into that little search box there. You don't necessarily want to write your whole topic out like in a full sentence. You maybe want to pick out the most important words and you'll revise this. You might do a few different searches with different keywords in there until you get the results that you're happy with. So here's an example of a search that I did in library search where I wrote telehealth and rural Ontario. Let's pretend that's my topic. I need to find out information about how telehealth maybe improves medical conditions for people who live in rural Ontario. So that could be one search I did. I can do another search, maybe telehealth and barriers and geography, or maybe telehealth and geographical barriers, or telehealth and nursing and rural areas. So you can do a bunch of different searches. And in fact, I would really recommend that you do that because what we're doing when we're putting things in that search box is we are trying to guess what the writers of these papers, what words they would use. So trying a bunch of different options is a really good idea. Okay, nevertheless, here is my results from telehealth and rural Ontario. And this is telling me that there's 75, or is that 76? I need glasses, results on this page. And it's also giving us the option if we want to add some filters. So on the left-hand side there, you'll see that you can sort or change up, refine your results. And you can do that by saying that you want to find only peer-reviewed articles. So under availability, you'll see that it says peer-reviewed as one option. And that's if you want articles that are published in journals where experts review the articles before they're published. It's a lot of original research that's been done. And it's been vetted to make sure that the contributions to the field are basically of a higher level. It's not just publishing a small story in a magazine. It's not giving an overview of perhaps a study that you'd find in a newspaper. It's like the full study. So you could say that you wanted to find peer-reviewed articles, or you could scroll down further in that refine your results bar and click on that publication date and say that you want to see results only from the last 2 years or 5 years or 10 years. So that would depend on what your prof tells you in the assignment instructions. All this information that I'm telling you is hopefully useful, but it all depends on what your prof actually wants from your assignment. So making sure to triple check those assignment instructions is important. Okay, so I have these results. If I don't find anything I want from these results, I need to go back and type in some different keywords, or I need to contact the library. So let's pretend that first one looks like it's a good choice for me. So I'm going to So when we open up the article record, we see 4 things here that I want to touch on. One being we have the title of the article. The second part being that we have some more information about the source, like where it was published, the year it was published in, and how many pages it is. And the page number can be useful because if you're looking for peer-reviewed articles, you are often going to be looking for longer articles. So it won't just be one page. Then we have the options to actually view the article, where I have the number 3 there. So we can click on Get PDF or Read Online, and it may prompt you to log into the Seneca system. And once you do that once, you'll be able to click through any of our articles and you won't have to enter in your credentials again. Now, number 4, that to me is one of the most important parts of the article record because it gives you the ability to look at the citation. So this is a automatically generated citation. There's probably going to be little mistakes for you to tweak, but it's a good baseline if you're going to use this article to grab the citation from that button, and then you can just double check it against our guide. And I'm going to talk about APA citation in a little bit. It also gives you the option to email the article to yourself for kind of safekeeping for later. So library search is one way of getting your articles, but you can also get them through Google Scholar, and some of you might prefer to do that. So I can do the same search in Google Scholar and get a bunch of results. And some of these will be open access articles that anyone can look at the full text of for free. Like anyone who uses Google Scholar can maybe use this. But there's also some articles that you won't be able to see the full text of because they're going to be behind a paywall. Now, in order to eliminate that paywall, we need to connect Google Scholar to Seneca Libraries. And I already have, so if you look on the right-hand side where it says View It Seneca Libraries, that's there because I've already added into my settings that I have an account with Seneca Libraries. And so articles that other people may hit a paywall with, I'll be able to view the full text of. So let's talk about how that would happen. So if you want to make sure that you connect the library to Google Scholar, you go into your settings. So you click on that little 3-line menu, you click on settings and then library links, and you type in Seneca Libraries, check mark it and press save. That will make it so that you can do your search and then get access to articles that the library has for free. Now, annotated bibliographies are a type of assignment that you may perhaps have to complete. And something that may be useful is our annotated bibliography resource. So this is from the Library Research at Seneca Guide. I have the URL at the top here. I'll also put them in the description below. And this is just a page that talks about what type of information you'd include in your annotation. And most importantly, it has a sample annotated bibliography, which is on the screen here. So that was just, if you scroll a little bit lower on the page there, you'll see this sample. And this is what you can use. You can delete our fake citations and annotations, but I want to show you what an annotated bibliography looks like. And I want to point out a few things, 3 things. Okay, number 1, we have our full citation, the same one that in a literature review or a regular essay you would have had at the end of your paper in a references list. So an annotated bibliography does not have a references list. It lists it in the first page. You start with your full annotation from your first resource, and you list the resources in alphabetical order. So my 2 examples there, I have a source by Field and a source by Freeman. So in alphabetical order, Field would come first, so that's why I'm listing that resource first. It's the full citation, not a little in-text citation, but a full complete citation, similar to the one that you would have in your references list. Now, the thing underneath it, the paragraph, that's called the annotation. So you're annotating a list of sources. A list of sources is like a bibliography. So it's an annotated bibliography. You'll notice that, so number 2 there, the reason I have that there is to tell you that it's not a normal indentation for the paragraph. So it just starts as kind of like a block with that left margin aligned like that. Even though it looks kind of funny because you're used to writing in paragraph style, the first paragraph of an annotation is not indented. And then number 3 there, that note is to show you that at the end of my paragraph, I just make 1 line and I start with my next citation. I don't keep pressing enter and making a big space before my next citation. It just follows right on the next line. So if you download this this template, you'll be able to use the same formatting and put in your own sources and your own annotations. And anything that we're talking about here, I'm always free to help, and other people in the library as well. Everyone's very friendly and happy to help, and there's lots of different ways to get help, and I'll mention that at the end. But yeah, this is just a little bit of information about the annotated bib. There's also literature reviews. And we have a resource on the same Library Research Seneca Guide under literature reviews. So we have a little blurb about what literature reviews are. And then as well, we have a little tutorial, and it actually talks about the differences between a literature review and an annotated bibliography. So that may be useful for you when the time comes. Okay, so now we move on to APA citation. Our APA citation guide is a very heavily used resource from the library. The URL is at the top of the screen there. There's a lot of things in this guide, including online citation workshops that you can see kind of peeking up from the bottom there. The two most, I think, popular areas to go to on this guide will be to get an APA sample paper. So I've circled that over on the right. And then over on the top left is the citation examples. So when you open up an article record, like we were looking at before, where it says the title, the authors, and the page number, and the source it came from, remember I was saying that you can also click on the little button to get an auto-generated citation and that you might need to double check it. Here's where you would come to double check that citation to make sure that your citation is perfect. So with APA, you don't have to memorize any APA rules, but what you have to be able to do is compare the citation that's been generated for you, whether it's generated by the library or it's generated by another citation generator that you use, perhaps NightCite, EasyBib. I've heard all sorts of different names. Any of those will do. That's kind of like your first draft. And then you come to the guide here and you double check it. So when you click on citation examples, there's lots of different things that you can choose from. So you can cite a book, you can cite a website, you can cite a religious text. We have tons of stuff there. But something that you'll probably go to a lot is citing journal articles. So this is what it looks like if we drill down to how to cite a journal article from a library database with a DOI. So that's like the little tag at the end that says doi.org/ and a bunch of numbers and letters, and then with one author. So this gives you 3 pieces of information. How to do the references citation. So that's the one that you would put at the end of your essay or within your annotated bibliography. How to do your in-text citation if you're quoting directly. So you're copying and pasting something, you're putting those little quotation marks in. And then how to do an in-text citation if you're paraphrasing. So this gives you those three elements that you need in order to cite a source like this correctly. So now I could cite any journal article from a library database with a DOI, with one author, anyone you give me, I can tell you how to cite it just by looking at this information. So when you compare your auto-generated citation that you've gotten with these examples, then you're able to fix up your citation. Okay, that was a lot of info in a relatively short amount of time. So let's talk about how you can get help. So on the library homepage, we have a button that says research support. And this is really useful because this is going to bring you to how to do our live chat with library staff. And we're open pretty late on the school week. We're open on the weekend, so it's a really nice live chat that will enable you to get help. It'll also give you the link to book a virtual appointment with myself or another library staff member. It'll give you links to our tutorials, and it'll give you some tips as well as our FAQs. So you might have a question that's already been asked before and already answered before. So we have a list of frequently asked questions that you can also access from there. So this research support button is really useful. I would also recommend going to the Learning Center and getting help. The Learning Center is kind of friends with the library, I guess you would say. We're different departments, but we work closely together, and they are the pros at writing. So the library can help you with research and can help you with citation and rather teach you how to do research and teach you how to do citation. But in terms of writing an essay, writing a lit review, writing a thesis statement, grammar, those sorts of things, the Learning Center is the best at that. They're the experts. So the URL is on the screen there, and I'll pop it in the description. You can book a one-on-one tutor or you can attend a workshop. There's also a way to chat online with them as well. I think my video is covering it, but you can kind of see it there beside me, that you can click on that and talk to someone from the Learning Center to help you. And the last way you can get help is by emailing me directly. I am very happy to get your email and book an appointment with you directly, or just talk things through over email, or see if I can direct you to the Learning Center if that's what you need. So I wish you well in your research and have a wonderful day.